No paint. Oh, that's the time right there to take it, boy. Good. DJ, you can't let them push you that way. Don't let them push you that way. All right, come on, let's keep working. What we got?
Hey, yo, stay disciplined on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Stay disciplined.
All right, Penny, here we go. #1 recruiting class, a lot of expectations. What do you think so far of this team? How have you guys been able to kind of react to all these expectations?
Well, I think we're talented. Obviously, we don't know how they're going to respond to all of the high expectations as the season goes along, but right now, I think they're handling it well. I think when the season starts and a guy has a good game versus another guy not having a good game, who knows what happens then. But for right now, I think they're handling it well.
All right, I want to know your best memory of coaching middle school basketball.
Best memory is
and why did you do it?
It's the 3 state titles. Honestly, that's it. And middle school basketball is really big around here. And the reason why I did it, because a friend of mine, Desmond Merriweather, was diagnosed with colon cancer. He was the head coach, childhood friend, and he asked me to step in to help him, and I did.
It's crazy. I don't know anybody who's gone middle school, high school, AAU, now college. What's the biggest difference in you as a coach over the last few years as you've tried to kind of figure this thing out?
I think I am figuring it out. That's the thing. You know, going every year, study. I've always been a student of the game. I've always studied college, NBA, because I played in the NBA. And I studied college, you know, for like last 8 or 9 years, and I wanted to understand what made teams good, what made them bad, what made the teams win it. Did they have to have a little luck, or was it scheme? So for me, I'm always in constant thought process of just trying to get better.
Keep moving, keep moving. Good, Les. Good. Hey. No paint, don't worry about all of that. Oh, don't worry about all that, no paint. It's okay, don't worry about all that.
When was the point when you thought, yeah, maybe I want to do this coaching thing? I mean, because most high-level players, first of all, don't want to coach.
Right.
2, a lot of them aren't really good at coaching.
Yeah, I think when I went to middle school, I wasn't really ready to coach. I thought it was going to be a yearly deal, you know, like 1 year and then I'm out. It ended up being 3 years. And then I went on to high school for 3 more years. And it's when I met the kids and I saw how much talent these kids had. I saw how much they really needed me. I started thinking, you know, maybe I have to ride this wave out. Alex Lomax, who was with us now, was in the 6th grade, had a lot of promise, played for my AAU program, played for me in middle school, and then came on to play for me in high school. So I was like, I'm going to ride this out. And then it just got bigger and bigger. And I never knew I would be a college coach. I thought it was just going to be middle school and high school, and that's it.
Then you'd be done. Just go play golf.
Just go play golf and ride off in the sunset.
So this has cut into your golf game.
It has a lot, but for good reason though.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a lot of former NBA guys, the knock, you know it, former NBA guys haven't had a ton of success in college coaching because they don't know the grind.
Right.
Now, I always tell people, well, it's different. You knew the grind. You got into it because you did AAU ball. You did high school. Mm-hmm. Is that what you think can separate you from some of the guys that haven't succeeded coming from the NBA?
Absolutely, because I've had the opportunity to be around the kids on a daily basis, from middle school to AAU to high school, and you get to know them more on a personal level. Like you build those bonds and those relationships, and it's much easier to transition that over into college because it's pretty much the same kids. And when I was on the EYBL circuit, I built a lot of relationships with families and kids around the country. So I kind of feel like that gives me an edge on just a guy that's just retiring from the NBA and trying to coach in college.
And it helped you get James Wiseman, let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously building that relationship, him coming to Memphis, him trusting me when we were in high school, because when he came to me, there were some things that needed to be changed in his game, in his mindset, and he started really believing in what I was teaching. So, and I had to recruit him really hard. It wasn't like it was an open and shut case. But to have him here has been a blessing.
Well, actually in 7th grade, I had him as my screensaver before I even met him. So
Did you really?
Yeah, he always been my favorite player.
Wow, you really had him as your screensaver.
Yeah.
So
I used to watch all the Little Penny commercials and all that stuff. I was really research savvy when I was younger.
Was that kind of, you think, what started this momentum, being able to get James, the #1 player, beat Kentucky for him? Did that kind of put you on the map as, hey, people got to take me for real here?
Yeah, for sure. When I got James Wiseman, #1 player in the country, other kids wanted to play with him. They wanted to be on the same team. And then, of course, my staff, we have a really good staff. And all of these five-star kids want to go to the next level. So when they would come in and visit, and unofficial or official, and we talked to them about who we were and what we can do, and they saw the facilities and met our fans, and everything. It was like a perfect storm.
What's it been like coming back as a coach here? Growing up here, starring here, going away for a while. What's it like now when you kind of walk around? You're the head coach at Memphis.
Yeah, it's funny answering to coach because it's always been Penny. Yeah. Now it's coach or Coach Penny, and it's weird. But
do you like that? You like being called coach, or
no,
you want
I do.
Penny?
I do, because I feel like that's letting me know that I am, progressing, because and I'm older. But it's a weird feeling because it's still hard to believe. Being born and raised here, playing here, leaving, and then coming back, not to be the coach, just to be in the community and do things for the community, and then to have this happen, amazing.
If I said 48-year-old Penny Hardaway right now on this team, what could you do? Would you be the 10th man on this team? Could you make
at my age now?
Could you make this team right now? I know you're not the healthiest dude in the world with your knees.
I could make this team.
What would you be? What would your role be on this team this year?
I'd be the ultimate role player, meaning like locker room guy, practices, because that's important.
Yeah,
a lot of guys stick around in the league for those reasons. It doesn't have to be about what you do on the court. It can be mostly what you do off the court and during practices and things of that nature.
So you'd be like a walk-on, like a
really good walk-on.
A really good walk-on. There you go. We got you a new title here.
Yeah.
What about old Penny? If I said old in his prime Penny on this team right now, how good would this team be?
National champs.
Right?
No doubt about it. In my mind, me and my prime on this team, there's a ton of talent. And then,
are you running the table?
I don't know if we're running the table. That's hard to do, but I think that gives us be the favorites to win a championship for sure with me on this team.
And what about this team now without you? The reality of this team this year. What do you need to happen in order to? Because you have talked about the fact that, hey, you think this team can win a national title even though you're young.
Yeah.
What needs to happen in order for that to occur?
We need everybody, first of all, to sacrifice. That's going to have to be throughout the year, not just the first couple games, not the middle games, but all year. Secondly, you're going to have some luck on injuries, no major injuries. You got to have that. And then you got to pray that they can gel. They got to gel quickly so that we can move past certain things that we're going to be facing as we get further into the season.
What do you still need to learn as a coach? I mean, you're still, again, relatively new, especially at this level, and a lot of people are skeptical whether you could take this team with all this talent, right, against the big boys, Calipari, whoever, because you're relatively new to it.
I got to learn how to win on this level, especially the big games. You can't just talk it. You have to do it. And once you learn how to win, I think that gives you confidence in moving forward. And you have to beat Coach K, Coach Cal, Izzo, Self, the guys that have been there on a regular basis, to me, at some point, to get to that title.
What do you think the response will be if Cal comes back to Memphis?
I don't think it'll be a good response, but I think it'll bring some closure to a lot of people, and I think it'll be good after that. Nobody wants to go through that. I don't even really want Cal to go through that because, he deserves better because he did make this school prominent again. But there are some fans that are just hurt. When you're heartbroken, man, you do things. It's like wanting to be traded from your team, and you go back, they boo you, but they've been cheering you for 10 years or so.
You guys were picked, tied for first in the American. I was shocked. I thought you'd be the clear cut. What does this say about the coaches in the league and the lack of respect maybe that they showed for you?
I don't take it as lack of respect. I take it as this is a veterans league, and we're a very young team. To pick us tied for first, to me, is a compliment, not a knock. And I think because our league is so physical, people can talk about our league, about there's not good teams, but this is a really good league, and I'm not just throwing it out there. Sure. It's very physical, and it's a veterans league, so the guys are older, and you know how it is when you get to the tournament. You play those mid-majors and teams that has seniors. It's a different story. So our guys will struggle against the physical part of the game against those teams, especially on the road.
Three-point line move back. You guys probably aren't the best shooting team in the country. You got a couple of shooters.
We can argue that.
Right?
We can argue that.
Boogie. can
We got
shoot
Boogie.
it.
We got Lester.
Lester.
We got my son. And we have Tyler Harris.
All right. You got a couple guys.
How many teams have
You do.
4 shooters?
Good. All right, good point.
Okay, so I can argue that.
All right, and you should. How much of a difference do you think, I guess, is what I'm getting at, it will make in college basketball? Some coaches think a foot and a half, it's not going to be a huge difference. Others think it's going to be significant this year.
It's going to be very significant. I'm telling you, we faced that this past year in the NIT. Going back, it makes a huge difference. We played 2 games, and then you could just tell in practice when they said this is the line we're going to play from. Even though the guys like to joke around and play from the NBA line and shoot from the NBA line, it's going to be a big difference. The numbers will not go up, they're going to go down. And I think it's going to bode well for us because we do have shooters that can space the floor for us.
What's it out, Bull? You know what to do? Play that first move. Charge! Charge! I'm a bad rim. Charge!
You're coaching your son now.
Yep.
What's that been like?
It's been fun. I coached him in high school, and then he went off for a year of post-grad, and then now I'm coaching him again. He's going to be a really good 4-year player for us. He understands the game, shoots it really well. It's been fun coaching him. I mean, I treat him like all the rest of the guys. And
What does he call you, Dad?
enjoys-
Dad or Coach?
no, Dad.
Dad, he doesn't do the coach?
No, he doesn't do
Some
coach.
guys do.
You're right.
A lot of guys. Like, honestly, I bet you more might call Coach than Dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be shocking.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, Penny, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for spending some time with us, and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You got it.